The Ash Waste are a cruel and inhospitable environment. From the sands, Clan Una keeps a tight fist on the trade between Acropolis and other hive cities. Anarchy of House Orlock is also wanting a cut, not of the profit, but of the Promethium itself. Promethium is power in the hive cities. If House Orlock can control it with the iron trade, they will become near unstoppable. They make their way into the waste to see what they can find. Welcome back to Miniature Game Montage, Episode 8 of Ashes of Acropolis. Today we've got the debut of the Ash Waste Nomads, and they rolled up for a fight with House Orlock. A quick glance at the campaign table shows House Orlock at 1-0 with a win this season over the Enforcers. House Orlock has 55 credits and decides to bank those credits. They will be attempting to win this one short-handed, as their specialist Dusty and gunner Saul will be in recovery. They have 6 active fighters and a potential starting crew of 760. The Ash Waste Nomads prepare for their channel debut. They are led by the Chieftain Eros. He is equipped with a chain lance and mono hook. He has the skill Infiltrate. The Watcher Oro has a charge caster with the skill Trick Shot. Bach is a Watcher. He has a long rifle with Infrasight and Fast Shot. Miku and Tora are warriors with blast carbines, Raki is a warrior with blast rifle, and Piku is a dust runner with scavenge stub gun. Overall they have 7 fighters and a potential starting crew of 995. Today's scenario is Search and Destroy from the Dark Uprising. Clan Una will be attacking and the battlefield will be standard. House Orlock will get their full 6 on the table and reinforcements. The Nomads will get their full 10. Tactics cards will be custom 2 with underdog rules. Clan Una selects Now You See Me and Ashquake. House Orlock selects Initiation, giving them 3 greenhorns for this match. They also select Click. House Orlock will also generate 2 underdog cards and randomly get Intimidation and Tough as Nails. Today's scenario is all about sweep and clear. The battlefield will be divided into 4 quarters. A Promethium cache is hidden in each area and must be discovered. Clan Una is attempting to destroy them, while House Orlock is attempting to recover them. At the start of each round, a gang can declare 1 or more fighters are searching the area. The fighters must be active and more than 6 inches from a battlefield edge. Searching fighters lose their ready status and may not be activated. In the end phase, each searching fighter still active can roll a 5 up to find the Promethium. If both gangs are searching the same area, start with the gang that has priority. If found, place the cache next to the fighter that found it. Once found, they act as loot caskets and must be carried off the battlefield. House Orlock can carry them into their deployment zone for 2 points. Clan Una can spend a double action to take an intelligence check to destroy them if in base to base. Each destroyed cache is worth 1 point. The battle ends when only one gang has fighters remaining, or all caches have been destroyed or recovered. Victory goes to the gang left or to the highest score. Turn 1 is coming up next, and we hope you enjoy. And the Nomads did win priority. The Chieftain has infiltrated onto the board, and we've got a charge caster shot going across the board that misses. Ammo check is going to be failed. It is going to scatter 3 inches, rolling up for knockbacks requiring 3s. Both are good. With no wound on the Greenhorn, there is a wound on the Forge Master. He does fail his mesh armor save, and he will take a wound. We then move over to House Orlock, the Arms Master moving forward with 2 moves. The Dust Runner is going to move forward with 2 moves, starting to get a lot of moves as these fighters are getting into position to attempt to loot, potentially on the next turn. House Orlock did play Initiation, which is a tactics card that allows them to recruit 3 Greenhorns just for this mission, and we'll see a few of those moving up into cover as well. Over here we have one of the Nomad Watchers who is going to go up top with his long-range rifle. And this is Chip here. He's the only official Greenhorn on the roster that won't be leaving after this battle. Next up we have the Blast Rifle that is going to move forward. One of the Greenhorns recruited for this battle that was hit by the Charge Caster will step up and move into cover. We've then got Tora, who's going to move forward with his Blast Carbine. Flipping back to House Orlock, we have another Greenhorn that will be moving forward. And then we've got another Blast Carbine moving forward for the Nomads. These guys are pretty quick, can move 6 inches, so really covering some ground quickly. Big John, the leader, will make his way up the flank. We've then got Reb that is going to move up into place. And the Arms Master Juice is going to stand and move, and Tito will move up into cover as well. And turn 1 comes to a close. The Nomads did counter-deploy in this mission, so they were able to get a shot off with that charge caster on turn 1. Unfortunately for them, it did run out of ammo, so going to attempt to fix that in round 2, as we'll have fighters start to search for the Promethium. We did forget here that the Chieftain who infiltrated on that first turn, he was initiating a search here, as he is more than 6 inches away from the board edge. On a 5-up, he'll find the Promethium. He does not. We get those sweet, sweet rolls for turn 2, back to the Nomads. And before we get started, Tough as Nails being played by House Orlock. This will allow Juice to shrug wounds from this point moving forward. The Nomads also playing Now You See Me. This is going to allow their Chieftain to disappear from the battlefield and reappear anywhere within 9 inches. And he is going to look to take on Big John head to head, and he appears right in front of him. And this does not waste his activations, so he is going to charge into combat with Big John moving up just a little too far. He charges into versatile range with his Chain Lance, launches 4 attacks, 2 base, +1 for the charge, 1 for 2 melee weapons, and hitting on 3s. He gets 2 successes and strength 5. This will require 3s to wound. There will be 1 wound, so cut through his mesh armor, and it's going to do 2 damage to him, but he has 3 wounds, so he is going to activate next and back off. He'll then fire his plasma gun. And he hits 3 times with rapid fire, strength 5, this is going to be your 3s to wound, and he's going to wound twice. AP1 against mesh is a 6-up save, and the Chieftain taking these saves, and it looks like he's going to block 1 of them, but he is going to take 2 damage. That will equate to an injury die coming out for him, and it is going to be a flesh wound. As Tito moves forward, Rocky is going to take a shot with his blast rifle. He's going to aim this down to a 3. Full cover will make it a 5. And dice coming out, that is going to connect with Tito. He goes down pinned. 4 is needed to wound, and that is unsuccessful. Next up we have one of the Greenhorns who will activate for House Orlock, and they will push further forward. And this time they are going to take cover here. So the Greenhorn moving up and then going prone with their second action. As we go back to the Nomads, we have a blast carbine shot coming across the board. Has a 24-inch range, rapid fire, and that shot is going to miss. Again, needing 5s with an aim and full cover. Over for House Orlock, Reb, the gunner, is going to activate, and he is going to move forward behind full cover. And then we've got another blast carbine shot coming from across the board. This time Miku aiming at one of the Greenhorns. And 24-inch range, again needing 5s with an aim. That is going to miss. The Arms Master Juice is going to activate for House Orlock, move over to support Big John. And then we've got a shot from the Watcher here as he moves into position, and he is going to fire the long rifle. And he's going to hit on 3s. The infrasight will offset partial cover being given here. And the shot will hit at strength 4, and he will be knocked back. It will be 3s to wound, as this is strength 4 against his toughness of 3. And that will be a wound, so it's going to cut through his armor at AP1, and we're going to roll out an injury die here. And it's a flesh wound. So House Orlock avoiding a casualty there. We are going to see Tito activate next. He's just going to crawl up into cover. And then we'll move back to the Nomads, where this charge caster is going to attempt to reload on a 6+. And that is going to be successful. So with his second action, he's just going to move up further into cover. With the last activation, the Arms Master is going to continue to move up the Orlock right flank, moving twice. And this will bring us to the end phase of turn 2. We do have some fighters that we're searching on this one, and we will start with the Dust Runner here. He is going to not find anything, and then we have several that'll be looking for House Orlock, looking for 5-ups, and none of them are going to be successful. We dive into priority rolls for turn 3. The Nomads will take it, and Ashquake being played. All fighters on the board have to pass an initiative test, with the Nomads getting a +2 to this check, so they're on anything but 1s, but House Orlock will get pinned. Several fighters across the board. If you don't pass, you will become pinned. And we're just rolling up for a lot of these initiative checks. Big John is going to get pinned, and then the Arms Master, he is going to stand. We have 2 fighters that are already pinned here. The Greenhorn will go down pinned. And then we roll up for another Greenhorn as well as Reb, and the Greenhorn becomes pinned. and Reb is going to be good. And during this turn, House Orlock had devoted a lot of their forces to searching for the Promethium, so they will be unable to do that as they will not be active at the end of the turn. Next up, we roll up for the Ashways Nomads, again getting a +2 to their initiative to pass this test, so anything but one, they are only going to have one fighter over on the right flank that will fail. That will be Rocky with his blast rifle. He will go down pinned. And after successfully passing his check, the Chieftain is going to move both actions, does have a flesh wound on him, so operating with one toughness less. House Orlock activates the Arms Master, rolls up the maximum on a D3, charges into versatile range with the Dust Runner, and is going to swing that giant Arc Hammer. And he will get 4 total attacks. This Arc Hammer is Strength 6. He does hit on 3s, and he is going to wound on 2s with this weapon. Strength 6 against his toughness of 3. It results in 1 wound, and it's going to cut through his armor. So it is going to be an injury die rolled out for him, and he is going out of action. We roll up a D66, it will be a 63, which is critical for the Dust Runner. The Chargecaster will attempt to retaliate, has to pass a cool check here before he can shoot the Chargecaster, and this is due to Iron Stayer. He rolls up double 1s, that means that he can't target the Arms Master, so he is going to fire in front of him with the Strength 4 Blast. And that is going to successfully hit. We're going to roll up for a knockback, which is successful. This is going to blast him back into the tank here, causing 1 extra damage. We do need to see that wound roll though, and it fails. The Arms Master will be pinned though, which is a big part of the game, and over on the other side there's another Arms Master using both of his actions to move forward while staying into cover. He is chasing down the Chieftain. And up top, one of the Watchers with that long rifle is targeting Reb. This will be 4s to hit. It is full cover, but he has an infrasight, so bringing that down to a 4. And he hits, ammo checks good. Strength 4 requires a 3 in order to wound. That's successful as well. He is knocked back. The armor save is failed, and we go to an injury die here, and it is going to be an out of action. So the Gunner Rep going out of action, D66 being rolled up for him. The black die will be the first number, and that is going to be a 36. We do have a few cool checks to make for fighters that are within 3 inches of him. Some greenhorns here. And it appears that first one is going to be failed or become broken, and the next one is going to become broken as well. And the Watcher does have a fast shot, so he is able to shoot again, and he is going to sink another hit. That infrasight stripping away some partial cover on one of these greenhorns. He is going to cause a wound. AP1 goes through the flak armor, and it looks like a serious injury will be the result. Big John gets to his feet and moves up behind the Arms Master, and then the rest of the activations go to the Nomads as the rest of House Orlock was searching. We've got some blast carbines that are firing across the board. Needing 5s here due to full cover, they are aiming first, but not getting any results with either of those. The blast carbine stands, and he's going to take a shot as well. This is actually the blast rifle, and that shot is going to miss. And that will bring turn 3 to a close. And we did have some fighters that were prone there at the beginning of the turn, and we said they were searching. So in reading it more, they actually foregoed their activations for this turn. We'll be sure that we correct that moving forward. You have to be standing and still active at the end of the turn in order to search. Turn 4 is going to be coming up next. All bottle and rally checks were successful. As we move into turn 4 priority rolls, it looks like it is going to go over to House Orlock with the tie. And Juice activates and moves up, fires the shotgun within 4 inches, anything but 1, and he's using Bullet Lord, so automatically getting a 3 on the firepower. Only 2s to wound with a reduced toughness, and 5 up mesh armor saves need to be taken, and both are good. Next we have one of the warriors, Blast Carbine. He's going to target Juice here, approaching the side. And while he aims down to a 3, full cover will make this a 5. The shot will easily miss. We've then got a greenhorn attempting to fire a shotgun, just trying to test the range here. It is out of range. Just rolling up a firepower dice with that, it's good. We have another blast carbine that whiffs before Tito activates, and he fires the autogun across the barriers. He gets a hit on the 6, and the blast rifle will go down pinned. He is going to roll up a wound. It is rapid fire, and then we're going to take a mesh armor save, and it's good. The Watcher that was just pinned is going to stand and return fire, normally hitting on 4s. This is going to be short range to a 3. Partial cover will still make this a 5 as he fires back at Tito. And once again, shot's gonna miss. With House Orlock passing on an activation to leave fighters in cover, the Watcher is going to activate with his long rifle next, firing across the board. He does have an Infrasight looking to hit on 4s, and while he does miss the first, he does have fast shots, so he fires again and makes the connection. The Greenhorn is knocked back. Strength 4 means it's wounding on 3s. That is successful. AP 1 means a serious injury. House Orlock moves another Greenhorn over to give the assist. The Chargecaster then attempts to reload after having Click played. That has failed, so he's going to use his second action to move. House Orlock will once again begin to push their fighters up to searchable areas. The Nomad Chieftain gets to his feet and then threatens the barricade where 2 House Orlock fighters are hiding. Big John then steps up and he identifies one of the warriors that can be seen. He's got his plasma gun. Gonna stick to cover here, but fire that plasma gun across. He normally hits on 3s. Full cover will make this a 5. And the shot does miss. Ammo check will be required. Also needs a 5. And that's no good. He's going to be out of ammo. The Arms Master Forge then gets to his feet and surges forward. And that does bring the end of turn 4. So we are seeing a lot of chaos across the board. A lot of flesh wounds, but nobody quite going out of action since those initial turns. Bottle checks are good for both sides. We do have a fighter that is rolling back over with a flesh wound. Nobody had the ability to search this turn. We moved priority rolls for turn 5. House Orlock is going to be up again, and the Arms Master Juice is going to charge into contact with the Nomad Chieftain. He is out of bullets, but gonna attack unarmed here. He gets 2 base. Plus 1 for the charge will be 3 in total, hitting on 3s. And with only 1 successful strike, he has a toughness of 2, so just needs 3s to wound. It will do a wound. Mesh Armor is a 5-up save for the Chieftain, and that's going to be good. The Chieftain would have to turn to face here. That's a -1 to hit, so it should be on 4s. We missed that and counted this as 3s. We counted 3 hits with the Mono Hook. It is just his strength against toughness 3, however, so needing 4s to wound. 2 wounds. Mono Hook is AP -1, so Mesh Armor saves. This will be a 6. And while one of them will go through, remember this guy is tough as nails, so he takes a 2-up save and ignores the wound, and that is successful. Nothing happens. They stay locked up in combat. Back to the Nomads. The Watcher is going to attempt to target the Arms Master here. Must pass a cool check due to Iron Stare, and he is going to fail, so he will not be an eligible target. He is instead going to use his activations to move and then attempt to fire at Juice, the other Arms Master who is in combat. He is engaged, so this will be forced to hit. That is successful. Strength 4 means a wound will happen on 3s, and that is also going to be successful. AP -1, Mesh Armor is going to be a 6-up save, and that is going to be successful as well. And as we move to House Orlock, a charge announced from the other Arms Master, but he is going to be just short, unable to get that Arc Hammer into 1-inch versatile range. Next we have a Warrior with a Blast Carbine firing into an engagement, being offset by the short range, so needing 4s, and that is going to miss. Tito activates for House Orlock. He is going to fire into the engagement as well. Getting the same bonus, he is going to hit. Strength 3, Toughness 2, so this is going to be 3s to wound with his autogun, and that is successful. 5-up Mesh Armor save will need to be taken, and it will be failed, so an injury die coming out here. It is another flesh wound. That'll be 2. He's on a toughness of 1 now. The Chieftain now realizes that he's in trouble. He is going to turn and launch an assault into Tito with his versatile weapon, Chain Lance. He did turn, so this is going to require 4s to hit. With 3 total attacks, he sinks 2 with his Chain Lance, and then it'll be 3s in order to wound, as it is Strength 5. Those both convert into wounds, and the AP is going to cut through his armor, so we're going to see 2 injury dice come out here as he goes down with a serious injury and a flesh wound. The nearby Greenhorn takes a nerve check, which is good. He then moves into position and tries to take a shot with his sawn-off shotgun, targeting the Chieftain, looking to take him out of action. It is going to miss, however. Where they're going to switch back to the Nomads. We're going to have a bevy of misses here as the Blast Carbines and Blast Rifles really struggle to find their mark with anyone that is in full cover. House Orlock is going to send one of their Greenhorns forward, just looking to take up a better position, and that is going to draw fire from one of the Blast Carbines on the right flank of the Nomads. And he does have him in the open here, so just normally hitting on 4s. And the hit is successful. Rapid fire 3. Looking for 3s here. He has just a toughness of 2. 2 wounds go through. And then he is going to have flak armor. So looking for 6-up saves. And we do have 1 success, but he is going to end up taking another flesh wound. With that, more greenhorns continue to move up the board. The Watcher with the Stormcaster here is going to use both of his actions to move, trying to get away from the Arms Master. We have more greenhorns now getting to their feet, preparing to search on the next turn. Big John is now out of ammo. It is scarce, so that plasma gun can't be reloaded. He is just going to back up for right now, and that brings us to the end of turn 5. So while House Orlock is taking a lot of damage, it is all just flesh wounds, and they are unable to get many out of actions, serious injuries, the things that they need to swing this game. Fighters are rolling for recovery, one staying down with a serious injury. Bottle checks are all good. Any recovery tests are good as well, and we move into turn 6, priority rolls. And opening up the turn, the Chieftain will fight with his Chain Lance. Does require 4s to hit. He's only getting 1. It will require 3s to wound, however, as it is strength 5. He will get a wound. AP -2 will cut through the mesh. But this guy ignores it on a 2-up, and he ignores both of them. He then makes reaction attacks, hitting on 3s, and he will get 1 that goes through. Just needs 2s to wound at toughness 1, and he gets the wound. Mesh armor save is a 5-up, and it is going to be failed, so an injury die will come out here, and it is going to be a serious injury. The Chieftain in trouble. And as the Chieftain goes down, Juice will immediately activate, give him the coup de grace, and then we will roll up a D66 on that as Juice moves towards the Nomad shooting line. D66 is a 23. Up top, the Watcher is going to take a shot with his long rifle, trying to identify one of these greenhorns, potentially searching for Promethium, and is going to get a hit here. That Infrasight making it only 4s to hit. They will be knocked back, go down pinned. There will be no wound. He will use Fast Shot to shoot again, once again targeting another greenhorn, and he lets loose with the long rifle, and it is again going to hit. Ammo check is required and failed, so his gun jams up. And while the wound roll is good on a 2, as this is strength 4 versus T2, it only causes another flesh wound. House Orlock is then going to move the Arms Master twice, again closing the gap on the Watcher. And then we've got a move coming up here where the Blast Rifle is going to move into position and fire at the Arms Master. First needs to pass a cool check due to Iron Stare. And while that check is good, the shot will miss. House Orlock then gets another fighter up and pushes them forward. And then we've got another opportunity here for the Blast Carbine coming down, again targeting that Arms Master. And rolling up a 6 on the cool check, he's good to take the shot, and he connects, and we finally get Shock to go off. The attack will auto-wound. The Arms Master does pass a cool check to avoid being pinned, and while he does fail an armor save, it is just a wound. Next, House Orlock plays the Tactics card Intimidation, making fighters within 9 inches of him take cool checks, or they're going to become broken. And first, starting with this guy up front, he is going to pass. And then we're also taking for another fighter here. He's going to pass as well. As we look to wrap up the turn, we do have a movement here where he also targets the Arms Master, trying to bring him down out of the backfield, but he does fail his cool check, unable to take the shot. At this point, that Arms Master really has to get off the board, or the Nomads are in deep trouble. You see Big John creeping up the left flank. The Watcher with Stormcaster is going to continue to move away, unable to reload. It is at this point where I'm going to decide to voluntarily flee the battlefield, as the Nomads are going to really be in a tough spot with that Arms Master. He's got a versatile 1-inch arc hammer. He could easily get in and potentially take 2 of my fighters out if he wins priority. We do finish up with some recovery rolls for House Orlock, and they're going to be fine. And we're just going to roll up to see what happened for that priority, just to see if the Nomads could have potentially taken that Arms Master out and stayed in the game, and it does not look like it was to be. And that will wrap it up for our first game, and I think in just this initial game I learned quite a few things about the Ash Waste Nomads. First, if you're going to bring a Charge Caster, always carry a spare as a Tactics card. That is pretty much an auto-include. That is going to allow you to counter-click and automatically reload your weapon. As you saw, I had a terrible time with 2 ammo jams, and then when I got an Arms Master on me, I spent the rest of the game just trying to not go out of action. Next, I do like the long rifle. I think we'll see a few more of those. If you have infrasights on those, especially on your champions, those hit really well. AP -1 is strength 4. Those can be nice, although it is only 1 damage. I thought the Now You See Me card was really good, as that pretty much allows your leader, or anyone else really, to pop up somewhere on the battlefield 9 inches away and, pretty much auto-charge. And then Shock. We didn't see it a whole lot in this game, but there's another card that you can take that makes you Shock on a 5, and a Shock is pretty much auto-wound, so that could come in extremely handy as well. Other than that, I had some really bad rolling, a ton of flesh wounds. I think every Orlock fighter on the board at least had 1 flesh wound, and a lot of them had 2, and I couldn't quite get those out of actions that I needed to, swing this battle into my favor. We will wrap up as normal with the winner getting 50 credits to strengthen their game. The loser of this match, the Nomads, will get 25 credits. House Orlock improves to 2-0, while the Ash West Nomads lose the debut game and fall to 0-1. We'll continue to work and tweak some things, so you'll get to see our mistakes, hopefully, before you make them. Also, we did some different things with this battle report today, including a dice cam, and I'm going to continue to work on that and try to improve that as time goes. This was my first effort trying to get back into doing something like that. So be sure to let me know down in the comments what you thought of that. As always, I want to say thank you so much for watching the video and for leaving a like. If you have any comments, feel free to leave those down below. A big thank you to the Supporters Club. I really appreciate your support as well. Your names are on the screen now, and all of my terrain is officially up to date. As always, thank you so much for watching. There's always more Necromunda coming, and we will see you in the next one. Take care.